In what looks like Kenya Kwanza government living up to their gender rule promise, introduction of both Sholei and Harriet Chegai appointments in the top government jobs has been lauded by women rights groups in Kenya.
Let me start by thanking the President, His Excellency Dr. William Ruto, for creation of this post and for the appointment of a good number of women in cabinet. It is a great start. The creation of the Office of the Women Rights Advisor was not an easy task for the President. He had many naysayers in his team. I think this is an important step towards ensuring a high-level advocate for women's rights whose main focus will be to constantly remind and ensure that Cabinet has women's issues on the table.
The Office of the President Advisor on Women's Rights has rallied behind civil society to be part and parcel of the solution towards the challenges facing the country, rather than criticizing the government each and every moment.
Input gleaned from today's consultations, together with other policy documents, will be used to form a strategic plan for this administration. A strategic plan that speaks to women's lived realities. A strategic plan that will help realize women's rights in Kenya.
And it just tells you that there are many silent things that we are not talking about. But having Honorable Chegai in that office, it will become an agenda item. It is something that must be discussed.
Chegai has called upon civil society to agitate for quality and inclusion from a positive standpoint and not negative activism. 7 women were picked as cabinet secretaries and 3 were picked as advisors of the president.
We look forward to working together to ensure that the government delivers on the commitments they make, and on behalf of women of Kenya, their constitutional commitments like realizing the not more than 2/3 gender rule under Article 27, the commitments made at the Generation Equality Forum to end SGBV and FGM by 2026. We are here to say that these commitments and policies cannot remain pies in the sky.
I would like to inform you, ladies and gentlemen, that I have introduced the Constitutional Amendment Bill in this session of Parliament, and the preliminary debates on the Constitutional Amendment Bill will begin next week. And believe that we have sufficient political goodwill from the President and even in the Houses of Parliament.
According to Boss Sholei, women will be on the table of Hustler Fund to benefit by 50%, translating to 25 billion shillings.
Previous governments failed to stop banks from taking advantage of many women through the predatory lending and abusive practices. But here we are now in this Kenya Kwanza government that has assured that the access to financial services through the Hustler Fund, of which 50% will be dedicated to women. Of the 50 billion yearly, 25 billion will be dedicated to women. And Honorable Chegai, I think you will have to be doing the accounting on that.
Sholei and Chegai has expressed confidence in courts by quashing the order, refraining Parliament from vetting principal secretaries appointed by President William Ruto on claims of regional imbalance.
The Women Rights Advisor to the President is one of those critical junctures in making the attaining of equality and inclusion of women possible.
Sholei has advised women to stop condemning the government for push to instant 2/3 gender rule and instead build on the current gender numbers in the government.
And I remember they said, but Gladys, the President signed to have 10 women in cabinet. You don't have 10 women in cabinet, you have 7 and you have 3. And I said, but we have 3 advisors. And I said, I have learned that sometimes you don't get everything you want, but as long as you have a start. And I said, this is the highest number of women in cabinet that we have got. You know what? Rather than fight, let's build upon what we have got.
Allow my office to be your voice. My office will, as required, coordinate and complement the work you all do on a daily basis in relation to achieving women's rights in this country. There is enough work on these issues for everyone to engage. This is work that we must finish in our lifetime. It will take all of us to move in one direction.
For Ebro TV, I'm Lauded Francis.
And then